So you don't think you're 10x?
Compared to what? Compared to you, yes.
Ouch.
I told you, don't take it seriously.
Don't take Mike seriously.
Oh. Trying to see if your camera sees you.
Wait a minute, Mike, I looked at what people say about CocoaScript. I agree. I mean, this guy is right. It does blow control. It's difficult to debug in such situations. So it's a problem of any transpiler, which transpiler.
Yeah, I have that problem with like, CSS compilers.
Yes, exactly.
It's like,
Exactly the same.
kind of not what I want.
Okay, everybody. Our special guest speaker for today is, got him down?
Yeah.
Got him? And he's going to be talking about REST and EXT interfaces.
Nice.
Okay, before starting, it's going to be very simple, brief introduction to ExtJs4 MVC framework. And I was not under the water, under weather, so did not prepare a whole lot.
That's okay, we ask a lot of questions.
So speaking slowly also, so no yelling. So is an F5 start the slideshow?
Slideshow menu, there you go.
Oh yes, yeah, I guess.
I live in a PowerPoint intensive environment.
So yeah, today's talk, as I said, web application is ExtJs4 and REST backend. So this is some of the brief overview. I'll first show static web apps with just JavaScript. Then somewhat dynamic is data coming from backend in Java and then front-end JavaScript, and go into MVC pattern in JavaScript, and actually ExtJS. Okay? And I don't have much slides, but most of the talk will be a demo. And these are the things that are running, Tomcat should be running Eclipse, and show code in Eclipse, and BD visualizer for the database. Infinite Rest actually not used this one. And there's a little plugin that I wrote, fast code Eclipse plugin, and show how it can help also. Okay, having said that, now let's jump. By the way, fast code plugin, if you haven't heard of, so just gets downloaded, so this week was like about 70. So I'll show you how to use that and how to how to execute that as well. So before going to, as I said, do a static web app. So first, without installing ExtJS yourself, first of all, let me actually, the talk mostly centered, what is presented here, MVC architecture in ExtJs4. Okay. So they call it, they give an example with the user ID. And I was not able to complete the whole of it, so you have to live with it. User, I call it person. So to start with any framework, JavaScript, you can fiddle, There are places you can fiddle your code. There are JS fiddle. And since we are doing ExtJs, we go to Sencha fiddle. So I will say, most simple example. This does nothing but just opens a pop-up here. Welcome to Ajax field. So if you can see this is just a simple EXT application. And when you launch, you just get an alert message. Okay. And with Sencha, you can easily change the version here, things like that. So let's go to a little bit more involved. Can you see the? Let's make it half and half here. So this is more involved. This is a little bit more involved. So there are several ExtJs, components being used here. Okay. So again, the main thing is the EXT application, and it has form panels. So it is as if you search simple form, you put first name and last name, and you get some data. Okay. And these are, so you see that here, line number 22, if you can see, we create the request panel. And then you can add your fields. Adding fields is as simple as typing these 3 lines. Field label, name of the field, and options. Options there, if you go to, if you want to find out, what options they have, of course you can go to docs.sencha. And you can search on text. Or is it draw text? Text field is the one. So that was a very simple example, but if you want to get fancy and complicated, there are that many options. Okay, so there is no way I can tell you everything. But I'll just tell you basic ideas. Then, and there are that many methods, okay? And there are that many events.
For a text field,
Yeah.
why would you need so many methods for a text field?
Oh, I mean, you can see that here. Because all these effect, animation, some of them are just getter setters.
Yeah, and I understand that some of them are just inherited from a base class. But,
Yeah.
But what is
Like some of them are like enable, disable.
Find plugin,
Hmm?
well, find plugin, I guess it has a way of hooks to plug in other things.
Yeah, you can attach plugins. Here you have your special text field, that something jumps out. But they have like a million options for every,
Yeah.
field.
So that code that you showed, was that generated from the form, or did you have to hand code all that?
Yeah, that I typed it in. This one.
Yeah, you can't do it from the form?
And the Sencha fiddle doesn't allow. All you can go here. You can new fiddle, and all it will give you is the basic ExtJs application, the first one I showed. Then you can, okay. Later I will show you, how to generate using Passport plugin, or you have to use Sencha tools. They have a very fancy tool they can.
So the application is basically just just, it's a JSON object, right? The whole, I mean, it's what it looks
No,
like?
it's a JavaScript class, ExtJs application. It looks like JSON, because in JavaScript,
Right.
you're familiar with how familiar people are JavaScript, I don't know, but EXT application, that means it is a class.
Yeah, but what you're feeding it though is basically JSON data that then tells the application what to do.
Correct,
And I
correct.
think this is loading a class here.
Yeah, right.
EXT4.panel is your class. And ext.create creates the object. And so you're getting the request.
Oh, I see, that's separate.
The instance.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if there was a, that
Is
was
it a
part.
font is big enough? I didn't back there.
It's good enough.
Okay, so basically, first whenever ext create will create that widget, or in this case is a panel, and then within curly braces it looks like JSON. It is JSON actually. It's JavaScript object formation. So field name title colon the value, name value like that is okay. And you cannot put arbitrary. You cannot put the names you will get from this documentation, that whatever name it takes, one of these, okay? So that you have to read. And instead of ext create, we could have done new, that, okay, we could have done this also. New,
Oh, okay.
so, but then of course the body of the thing you have to put it in.
Yeah.
But it's better to do ext create, but in ext create you see that it comes as a string, the name of the, so it's dynamic and class loader there, the class loader that loads the class and instantiates.
Is there any benefit to either way, or is it just a matter of preference?
A little bit matter of preference, I think, but it's, they recommend ext create.
But you don't know why, do you? Because they don't say.
That's if you all your,
Because you might forget to call new.
yeah.
That's what they always say.
They, probably loading it, don't they? Make sure that if you call it create, it might have to load the class.
Oh, it's a good, yeah, it's a good point. See, it can just read that string and make sure that it's loaded,
Yeah, probably.
whereas the other way, you have to make sure that the class is loaded, or you're gonna have an error in the data space.
Right. So there, I'm showing, already quite a bit of ExtJS capabilities, this fields, just putting 3 lines, it puts automatically put all this nice looking field, and when you did allow blank false, you see if you have blank, nothing there, it will, put a red. This field is required, it will say. But you can put it inside a field set, and